Welcome to Films and Stuff with your hosts, Pete Mitchell and Ethan Hunt.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Films and Stuff podcast. I'm Ethan, joined, as always, by most valuable Pete. Hey, Pete, what's up today?
Not much, buddy. How are you?
I am great, full of enthusiasm, because it is Saturday morning. Saturday mornings when we were kids meant cartoons, but now that we're adults, it means something else. It means our weekly stream or skip segment. Regular listeners know the drill. New listeners are about to find out. I introduce a segment, which I've done. I introduce you, which I've done. You take a deep breath and recite the rules of what is stream or skip all about. Have at it, my friend.
All right. So Ethan and I have prepared lists of TV shows for each other to watch. Every week, we randomly assign each other one of those shows. We watch at least 2 episodes or 30 minutes if it's a feature-length program. And on that basis, we determine if that show is worthy of being streamed or skipped.
Could not have said it better myself. We've got a pretty good slate this week. Do you want to go first?
I definitely want to go first. Normally, we randomly assign these shows as the rules stated, but last week, you and I pulled an audible. We kind of cheated. We put our proverbial finger on the scale, and we had a good reason for doing that, or at least I definitely did. And that's because I am super excited about the show I had assigned for myself, which was Alien Earth. I, as most listeners will know, am not typically a fan of horror movies or scary movies. It's just not my thing. Like
Same.
I like to be relaxed when I watch a movie, and watching something that's too scary or too tension-filled gets me going in the wrong way.
Same.
So, having said that, there are 2 franchises, both which are connected to each other, that I do not mind watching. One is the Predator series, which is not necessarily a horror movie. It's more like an action movie with a few jump scares every now and then.
Yeah.
And the Alien franchise. Most people will agree Alien, the first one released back in 1979 with Sigourney Weaver, was a horror movie.
Yeah, it was a horror suspense dressed up as a sci-fi at the beginning. Right?
Definitely. And then the second movie, Aliens by James Cameron, that transitioned from horror suspense to mostly action suspense. It was less about the trauma of what could be and the suspense of what's lurking around the corner, and more about shooting at something.
Yeah.
Alien Earth, awesome show, takes place on Earth. So it's the first time in the franchise we're seeing Earth properly. In the timeline of the Aliens franchise, takes place 2 years before Alien.
This is a prequel leading up to where we pick up in 1979 with Sigourney Weaver.
So it's a prequel, but it doesn't lead up to that. It's a separate story.
Okay.
So what most of the Alien franchise does is like they pick up with the same franchise, same universe, same corporate entities, but different characters.
Can I think of this as Rogue One to A New Hope?
You can think of this as Andor to A New Hope, not to Rogue One. Because Rogue One really becomes a direct prequel. The ending of Rogue One connects immediately to A New Hope, right? In fact, the last scene of Rogue One connects to the first scene of A New Hope.
Okay.
We're in the same franchise, in the same universe, but totally different stories.
Okay. I can get behind that.
Okay. This ignores Prometheus and Covenant. So we can assume that, the android with Michael Fassbender, none of that exists. Like that's kind of just like brushed away. Last week, I said that a reviewer had said that this was kind of like Andor to the Star Wars franchise, and it's not. It, frankly speaking, is not. The story premise is that Earth is no longer controlled by governments. In fact, now there are 5 major corporations that control the planet.
Amazon, Google, Microsoft.
Exactly. They've taken
Got it.
over the governments because the governments were not able to take care of the needs, whereas the corporations were.
Got it. I
And
love it.
each corporation controls a certain continent or certain groups of continents. So,
Okay.
for example, Wayland Yutani controls all of North and South America.
That's cool. Okay.
We're introduced to the 5. Wayland Yutani is one of them. And
Yeah.
a second is called Prodigy. And it's like the
Okay.
newest one. And Prodigy is controlling mostly Asia Pacific.
Okay.
It's run by this like really young trillionaire kid, supposedly super smart prodigy, huge ego, doesn't really know how to behave in front of others, that kind of thing. And the idea is there are 3 kinds of beings. Cyborgs, which are humans enhanced with like machinery. So then you've got hybrids, which are synthetic beings with human brains downloaded into them. And then
Okay.
you have synths, which is what we've always seen in the Aliens franchise.
Okay.
Okay. And sorry, I'm kind of all over the place because I'm super excited about this.
I
And
love it.
hybrids we haven't really seen before in the franchise, but what they basically explained and how they explained it is Prodigy is the company that's kind of behind hybrids. And
Okay.
how they start is by kidnapping a bunch of children who are dying. And
Okay.
they've perfected the technology where they can download the brains of these children into the bodies of synthetic beings.
Okay.
That's why they're called hybrids. So it's the
Got it.
brain of a human downloaded into the body of a synthetic being.
This is a series. How many episodes are there? And how many episodes have you gone through to kind of get all this background?
4 episodes so far. I've watched all.
And all this background's in the first one, or it's kind of like slow burn 1 through
Most
4?
of it is in the first one, but it's clarified over the first.
So right away, they kind of like bring you into the universe and give you the context of.
And they give you the context pretty fast. You don't have to have seen any of the Alien franchise because, of course, it's a prequel.
Mhm.
But at the same time, it's helpful because you kind of understand what's going on.
Okay.
The premise is that Wayland Yutani, as we know, has been sending out ships to collect aliens from different parts of the universe to bring them back to Earth for their own research purposes, whatever those research purposes are. We don't know what they are. In the first episode, we learned that they've captured a bunch of aliens, including a xenomorph. The xenomorph kind of goes nuts, destroys the ship, and the ship crash lands on Earth. So this is the first time an alien is on Earth.
Oh, surprise, surprise, right?
Yeah. The problem is where the ship lands is in Asia Pacific, in New Siam. It doesn't land in North America. So Wayland
it's a
Yutani
Prodigy.
loses
Yeah.
control to Prodigy.
Got it.
Prodigy steals all of Wayland Yutani's research, and they start doing research in their own labs on the xenomorph and on the aliens. And that's where we. It is an awesome show. It's got great visuals.
I was going to say, your enthusiasm for this, I think, goes beyond the story and like the alien or the aliens lore. Like you seem to really, really like the production value of the show.
Production value is superb. First of all, the first episode feels exactly like we were watching Sigourney Weaver's Alien from 79.
Huh.
The machines look the same. The computers look the same. The ship looks the same. The crew, all of them are the same. You see them in their deep hibernation. They wake up out of it. They're all in the same thing. It's amazing. This is being produced by Noah Hawley. He wants the series to eventually connect with Alien Sigourney Weaver if the series is successful. So theoretically, this could become like Andor and Rogue One.
They're starting early enough that they're giving themselves
They're
plenty
giving
of
themselves
runway.
the time.
Yeah, so that they don't get jammed up on season 2. Like, well, there's nowhere else to go. They want to have 5-7 seasons, make this long running, and give themselves the runway to.
They could, exactly,
story.
exactly. Phenomenally tense. There are some moments that it really made me feel like Alien from 1979. Super tense when the rescue squad goes into the ship when it crashes in New Siam and they're searching for survivors. And you can kind of see that the alien is out there and it's chasing after them or it's hunting them down individually. Oh, I mean, in terms of feel, in terms of suspense, it's as if I was a kid again watching Alien in the cinemas for the first time. It really
Wow.
feels that way. The short of it is this. This is a must subscribe. It's so good. I have no idea where the show is going. Like normally you can kind of get a feel.
Is this on Hulu?
This is technically on Hulu in the US. I'm
Okay.
watching it on Disney Plus because they're combined now. It's an
Yeah,
FX show, which means it's a part of Hulu.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense that it's FX. Okay.
I cannot stress enough how good this show is and how well it's acted.
I wanted you to watch this. I'm happy that you assigned it to yourself because I am pretty weak on the Alien universe. Like I remember seeing, I wonder if I've even seen start to finish the entire Sigourney Weaver Aliens. I just kind of know the original scene and the chest cracking open, and
Yeah.
then she's got a flamethrower, and then blah de blah de blah de blah. So I remember that, and then I would just have to say, like, I feel like for the rest of my life, every 5 years, there's an Alien, Aliens, Alien Predator, Alien something else, Prometheus coming out. And I've probably seen half, ignored half, kind of like airplane movies, wait for streaming kind of stuff. I could not put the universe together, but I like the idea that this is a prequel. It just makes the context, I think, easier for me.
Yeah. I really advise, even if you're not a fan of horror elements, because the horror elements are minimal. Yes, there are some moments that feel like suspenseful in terms of scary in the very beginning, in the first episode.
Yeah.
But thereafter, the suspense and tension comes from drama, not from like the alien thing. It's so good. And I'm super excited to see where they go with it.
Okay. This is absolutely something that you've unearthed because it's one of these must subscribes, especially, kind of sandwiched between some of the other stuff that we've, took a flyer on and hasn't really met with our expectations.
Yeah.
That's a hard act to follow. I assigned myself something from Amazon Prime called Butterfly.
Yeah.
I have to say, this is a very curious show. It originally looks like it's a Korean spy thriller, but I don't know how, but I heard very good things about it. And if you look at the cast, it's strange because it starts Daniel Day Kim. God bless him. He's 57 years old, does not look any different from what I remember him 25 years ago. An actress called Raina Hardesty. She's got one of those beyond typecast looks where she plays a Korean. She is not, she's American. It also has Piper Perabo. Well, it's not a Korean show. Let's put it that way. It's in English and it's in Korean, but it's really an American spy thriller for Amazon. And this is where it starts. Do you remember when we watched Citadel on Amazon Prime? Very good production value, horrible casting, horrible plot, right?
Yeah.
I would say if they would have called this Citadel Soul, I would have believed it because the production value is exactly the same, but it's actually the first 3 episodes are very, very compelling. Way more than Citadel. It's much more coherent. Like it's got that missing kind of it factor. So we pick up with Reina, who's in Seoul, Korea. We believe that she's Korean. Everything here is kind of half English, half Korean. And she is posing as, we kind of know that she's a secret, let's call her a secret agent, a spy, whatever. We don't really know who she's with or like her affiliation, but we can tell that she's incognito, pretending to be pregnant. And she's in this very fancy hotel, supposedly for like a job interview as just like a receptionist or customer service person, and happens to be in this very fancy hotel for this interview at the exact same time as like a Russian leader, oligarch, not entirely clear, someone with like Russian government, right? You could kind of tell like she's walking to her interview and is glancing and catches him. She makes some excuse about how she needs to, go to the toilet because of her pregnancy, you know, escapes through the corridors, blah, 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 poisons the politician and tries to make her escape. And all this is, I think, done in a very, very super smooth way. Someone, kind of like identifies her, and then they chase her, and then they find out she's not really pregnant, and they have like an elevator fight and some gun shootouts, and she jumps through a window. Very, very good action sequences, but she escapes, rendezvousing for her exfil, right? Similar to this, we see this other guy, Daniel Day Kim, who's kind of following her. And we're not clear if he is her exfil, her handler, secret agent, same team, different team, whatever, right? He's clearly following her. He basically eliminates her exfil team and he tries to pick her up instead. She notices something's not quite right, flees from him. He chases her, blah, 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 blah. He eventually tracks her down. And at the end of the first episode, we get the big reveal, I'm your father.
What?
Yeah. All right. Episode 2, we get a little bit more context. She works for, again, kind of like a non-political, like a private security agency. You could think of it as, again, a Citadel for profit, right?
Sure.
That's not really aligned with any government, but they kind of work with all governments, one of these things. And it's led by Piper Perabo. She is a co-founder with, ta-da, Daniel Day Kim.
Oh, okay.
And then there's some jump backs, and apparently there was some falling out. He thought that, one of his missions was compromised because she was trying to take him out. He pretended to be dead for all these years. Now he's back. He convinces his daughter that Piper is no good, that, he's got this mission to really save the world. And that's what the agency, it's not called Citadel, it's called Caddis. So he's actually on a mission to, help the world. And that's what the original vision of Caddis was, and so forth. And now it's Daniel Day Kim and his daughter on the run from Caddis. So that is episodes 1, 2, 3. It is very, very, very close, but not there, to a must subscribe. When you were just talking about Alien Earth, like there was no doubt in your voice and your enthusiasm and everything. Like this is a binge-worthy must subscribe. It meets the definition, right? It meets that threshold. Like you're there or you're not. It's kind of like you're in love or you're not in love. Butterfly is not quite at a must subscribe, but it's very, very good. The production value is very good. I'm half wondering if it was originally filmed as a Citadel, and then the Citadel brand just got like tarnished so badly that they're just like, let's just call it something else.
Yeah.
And it will be a lot better for everyone involved. Like if we call it Citadel Asia, no one's going to watch it. If we call it Butterfly, at least it's got a flying chance to make it. The production value is very good, and it has kind of the same structure to it. I really like it. I am probably going to continue watching it. There's 6 episodes, only 1 season. It is very, very solid. It's an Amazon MGM Studios production. It was just released in August, a couple of weeks ago. In South Korea, it's blowing up. And I think part of that is that it's very much positioned to be South Korean, even though, again, a lot of the characters are not Korean. A lot of the dialogue is in English. And even apart from the opening scene that takes place in Seoul, the rest of it is happening elsewhere. So I give it a mooch, but I have to say it is a very, very solid TV series, especially on Amazon Prime, which I feel like is a pretty thin pickings in terms of quality television or even original movies right now. And that's actually how I found it. Was I haven't logged into Amazon Prime in ages just because there's nothing. And I was just kind of flipping around and I was like, oh, yawn. Like there's nothing on here. Like, how is it possible? I mean, you go to Amazon to shop and I fill my cart with all these things I never thought I needed, right? Like I've got rechargeable batteries and all these like, different like gadgets and stuff. You're like, oh man, like how did I just spend so much money on? I didn't even need anything here, right?
Yeah.
You go to Amazon Prime Video and it's like the opposite of an Amazon store. You're like, the shelves are stocked with stuff I don't need and don't want. So that's actually how I found Butterfly, that it was one of the only things that kind of appealed to me. But I have to say, the global espionage, they did this very, very well. It's for me a mooch, but it is very well produced, good action sequences. Daniel Day Kim is fantastic. Piper is fantastic in her role. It's really, really good. I think you would like it, but I cannot say that it's like, hey, if you don't have Amazon Prime, get Amazon Prime just for this. It's not a must subscribe, but certainly if you're looking for something on Amazon Prime, this fits the bill.
Okay.
I think that was a pretty good week for us.
Not bad, yeah.
Let's give a little bit of a preview for next week.
Next week, you are on Netflix. You're watching a show called America's Team. Spoiler alert, that's a football show.
Yeah, it's about the Dallas Cowboys. And again, we'll do just a very minor spoiler. The start of the American football season, the NFL, National Football League, is upon us in 7 days from now. And also there was a monster trade that the Cowboys made just this week. So this show is being released at exactly the right time. I have called upon myself to give the review, so I will give the review next week. And Pete, you've also called your own number, although I'm not sure if you're as enthusiastic about it as I am.
Oh, so let me give a bit of pretext. I did not want to watch this show. It's Ironheart on Disney Plus, but it was on my list. So I decided I was just going to get it over with.
I want to hear about Ironheart. So I think that more than that, you're really taking one for the team, that it's big. It's on Disney Plus. It's part of Marvel. We should review it. But I think that both of us are, first of all, Disney, this is a problem. Pete and I, who wear Marvel on our hearts, on our sleeves, whatever the expression
Often on our
is.
t-shirts, literally.
Pete, who's got his own collection of Marvel t-shirts, if we're kind of like audibly sighing, saying, I guess I'll review Ironheart, that is not the reaction that Disney is going for.
No bueno.
But we will suspend our assessment until after you've reviewed, and maybe there are some surprises, or maybe not.
Probably
We'll
not.
find out. We'll find out. Pete, before we sign off on this very, I think, positive Streamer Skip segment, can you read off our YouTube and social media creds so that people can agree, disagree, suggest, give us some context, tidbits, nuggets of knowledge, and so forth?
Absolutely. Leave a comment below, like this video, subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to hit that notification bell.
All right, Pete, thank you for the review of Aliens Earth. Listeners, we will see you next week, next Saturday, Films and Stuff podcast. Thanks all.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you for listening to another episode of Films and Stuff. If you haven't already, please subscribe and review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever podcasts are downloaded. Films and Stuff. There is no substitute.